The 1960s were a time of social upheaval in the United States. Civil rights protests challenged the white supremacist policies that had defined the country for over a century.
Its purpose is not to divide, but to end divisions.
But as nonviolent movements, led by figures like Dr. Martin Luther King, grabbed national attention, a group in Oakland, California sought to push the boundaries of resistance further. Armed with both a vision for change and weapons of self-defense, the Black Panther Party would redefine what it meant to fight for freedom, sparking a revolution that demanded justice by any means necessary.
When we went to the Capitol, we were there to deliver a message based upon our understanding of what racism is and how it's inflicted upon us in our communities here in America, and deliver this message to the world that we must arm ourselves.
The Black Panther Party, founded by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in 1966, stood at the intersection of civil rights and armed self-defense, advocating for Black empowerment, economic justice, and radical political change. At its peak, the party had upwards of 5,000 members in 48 states and influenced movements across Europe, Asia, and Africa.
This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this because it's natural, because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among Black people that their own natural appearance, physical appearance, is beautiful and is pleasing to them.
At a time when African Americans were subjected to rampant systemic oppression, including police brutality, the Black Panther Party's response was not just to call for resistance, but for survival. The party's founders, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, were heavily influenced by the philosophies of Malcolm X, who advocated for self-defense against oppression.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
As well as Karl Marx, whose critique of capitalism shaped their belief that systemic change was essential. The Panthers didn't just resist systemic oppression, they took direct action to protect their communities, monitoring police behavior in Oakland and other cities using a tactic known as cop watching.
The California Penal Code Section 12020 through 12027, and also the Second Amendment of the Constitution guarantees the citizen a right to bear arms on public property.
Cop watching is a practice where individuals or groups observe and document police interactions with the public to hold law enforcement accountable for misconduct or abuse. This direct action became a cornerstone of their broader mission for racial and social justice.
The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls upon the American people in general, and the Black people in particular, to take careful note of the racist California legislature, which is now considering legislation aimed at keeping the Black people disarmed and powerless at the very same time racist police agencies throughout the country are intensifying the terror, brutality, murder, and repression of Black people.
At the heart of the Black Panther Party's mission was their 10-point program. This bold statement of demands outlined the vision for a radically different America, one rooted in justice, equality, and self-determination for Black people.
You say we want freedom, we want power to determine the destiny of our Black community, full employment for our people. Number 3, we want housing fit, decent housing fit for shelter of human beings. Number 4, we want all Black men to be exempt from military service. Number 5, we want decent education for our Black people in our community that teaches us the true nature of this decadent racist society. Number 6, we want an end to the robbery by the white racist businessman of Black people and Black people in their community. Number 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of Black people. Number 8, we want all Black men held in county, state, federal jails and prisons to be released because they have not had a fair trial, because they've been tried by all white juries, and that's just like being tried in Germany being a Jew. Number 8, we want Black people, number 9, when brought to trial, to be tried by members of their peers, and a peer being one who comes from the same economic, social, religious, historical, and racial background. And number 10, he would say, let's just summarize it. We want housing, we want clothing, we want education, we want justice, and we want peace.
While the Black Panther Party fought for justice and liberation, they soon found themselves under intense scrutiny from the U.S. government. Under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover, the Federal Bureau of Investigation launched a covert operation known as COINTELPRO, which stands for Counterintelligence Program. COINTELPRO was designed to monitor, infiltrate, and discredit political organizations that were seen as a threat to the status quo, particularly those advocating for civil rights and social change.
The Black Panthers are recruiting criminals and hoodlums and encouraging them to engage in a broad range of terrorist activities. They are the greatest threat to the internal security of this country. We want to make it clear to black youth that if they want to be revolutionaries, they will be dead revolutionaries.
The party was labeled the greatest threat to the internal security of the country and became the target of a systemic campaign of surveillance, disinformation, and infiltration. This corrupt campaign led to tragic consequences, violent confrontations with law enforcement that resulted in the deaths of 34 Panthers and 15 police officers. Amid growing tensions between the Black Panther Party and law enforcement, one event stood out: the arrest of Huey Newton in 1967. His imprisonment sparked a massive campaign known as the Free Huey movement, drawing both national and international attention to the party's cause.
Free Black is beautiful. Free Black is beautiful.
Supporters from across the globe rallied for his release, seeing Newton as a symbol of resistance against racial oppression. The Panthers' message resonated more widely than ever, further exposing the lengths to which the state would go to silence those fighting for change.
FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover today asserted that of the black extremist groups, the Black Panthers represent the greatest internal threat to the nation.
The government's efforts reached their darkest point with the assassination of Fred Hampton, a charismatic leader of the Chicago chapter, during a pre-dawn police raid in 1969.
The Black Panther Party, that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You've got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the Panthers are doing. That's what the Panthers are doing all over the world.
Hampton was just 21 years old. His death symbolized the brutal lengths the state was willing to go to silence those fighting for change. But even as the Black Panther Party faced state repression and violent crackdowns, their resilience only grew stronger, cementing their place as one of the most significant revolutionary movements in United States history. The Black Panthers are more than armed revolutionaries. They were deeply committed to serving their communities as well. The Panthers believed that the struggle for freedom extended beyond confrontation with the state. It also required uplifting the people in their communities. Their free breakfast programs fed thousands of children daily, providing them with the nutrition they needed to succeed in school. Their free health clinics served as vital resources, offering everything from sickle cell anemia screenings to general health checkups in neighborhoods that had long been neglected by the healthcare system. Interestingly enough, the Panthers' free breakfast program would later be cited as a major influence on the development of the federal free lunch program. The government, recognizing the impact of the Panthers' programs, implemented its own nationwide school lunch initiative, providing meals to millions of children across the country. By the late 1970s, the Black Panther Party began to crumble. Internal divisions, along with the relentless attacks of COINTELPRO, fractured the organization. Founding member of Huey Newton, once a symbol of strength and defiance, struggled with drug addiction, and his tragic death in 1989 at the hands of a drug dealer marked a somber end to an era.
The death of Black Panther's co-founder, Huey Newton. Today, some of the people who were formerly involved with the Black Panthers will be here to talk about what it was like in those early days.
The FBI killed him. When I say killed him, I don't mean to put a gun to his head. They destroyed him as a person, where he became a paranoid, sick person.
I think on the one hand, Huey did a lot to illustrate some of the ills of our society.
In America, black people are treated very much as the Vietnamese people or any other colonized people, because we're used, we're brutalized. The police in our community occupy our area, our community, as a foreign troop occupies territory.
On the other hand, I think personally, the pressure that came to bear on him for that very effort might have lent itself to destroying him.
By 1982, the Panthers had dissolved, their membership dwindling to fewer than 30 members. The government's covert actions, paired with internal struggles, were too much for the Panthers to overcome, but even as their formal organization fell apart, their ideology continued to resonate within the struggle for racial justice. Though the Black Panther Party is officially disbanded, their legacy endures. The influence of their programs and ideologies can be seen in modern-day movements for racial justice, from grassroots activism inspired by their free breakfast program to contemporary calls for justice and community defense. The Panthers' fight for Black self-determination, empowerment, and justice lives on in the hearts of those still fighting for equality today. As long as there are those who strive for a better tomorrow, the Black Panther Party's legacy will continue to be felt. Their story is not just a chapter in history, but a living testament to the power of resistance, self-determination, and the pursuit of justice for all.
This has changed because Black people are aware, and white people are aware of it too, because white people now want natural wigs. They want wigs like this. Dig it? Isn't it beautiful? All right.